Absolutely. The headlines right here, Udeniba 99.1 FM this Friday morning, keeping tabs on developments in and around the country. Plenty of things happening. One of them we're going to be looking at in our discussion segment today. And so the focus will be on Saturday's by-elections matters arising. Focus on Saturday's by-elections matters arising.
Everybody here, we're gonna do our best to make you holler, make you scream.
Well, this Saturday, which is tomorrow, August 16th, over 3 million voters across 16 constituencies in 12 states will return to the polls in a series of legislative by-elections. The elections are being held following the death or resignations of elected members, as well as court orders. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, they will cover 2 senatorial districts in Anambra and Edo State, 5 federal constituencies in Edo, Jigawa, Kaduna, Ogun, and Oyo State, and 9 state constituencies in Adamawa, Anambra, Kaduna, Kano, Kogi, Niger, Taraba, and Zamfara State. Additionally, INEC has confirmed that court-ordered rerun elections in Enugu South 1 state constituency of Enugu State and Gari Sayawa state constituency of Kano State will be conducted concurrently. In the meantime, the Commission says it has deployed election materials and officials to the affected areas, warning both the public and political actors against vote buying and other malpractices. The Commission is also battling last-minute legal disputes over who will appear on the ballot. For instance, just yesterday, the court ordered INEC to include the Social Democratic Party in the ballot, while the electoral body had earlier omitted the Labour Party in the ballot. On the campaign front, high-profile voices have joined the fray, with a former presidential candidate urging supporters on how to vote. What that spells for the parties concerned is left to be seen. So, what are the real issues we should be watching on Saturday? Number 1, the integrity of the process. Are ballot materials like beavers, accreditation and collation truly ready? Deployment is one thing, functional systems and impartial officials are another. If equipment fails or procedures are stretched, contested results and legal skirmishes will follow. Second, vote buying and inducement. INEC's repeated warnings underline an old problem. Money still distorts the ballots in too many places. Will enforcement to be stronger this time, or are the warnings largely symbolic? Number 3, the role of the courts. In some cases, courts intervened to add or exclude candidates. Does that potentially unsettle voters or raise concerns about fairness? Number 4, turnout and legitimacy. By-elections often record low turnouts. When that happens, coupled with disputes, winners' mandates appear weaker. So, what are we expecting in that angle tomorrow? Finally, which is the bigger picture, these contests are tests of INEC's operational capacity, the effectiveness of security arrangements, and the resilience of electoral dispute resolution. So in today's discussion segment, we ask, are Saturday's by-elections a rehearsal for stronger national polls, or another reminder of persistent logistical, legal, and political weaknesses? What would success look like on Saturday, and who loses when by-elections fail to meet public expectations? My name is Njideka. Favor Gilbert, co-anchor, is here, and of course the analyst Nelson Wayne is also here. So let's begin with your expectations, Nelson, for tomorrow. INEC has already said they are ready, beavers ready, they deploy sensitive materials, I think yesterday. So what would you like to see to determine whether they are ready? What are you expecting, as it were?
Yes, as usual. The number one suspect would be punctuality. Because INEC has been guilty of not being punctual at different election places, especially the polling units. And that is exactly what I'm going to be looking at for tomorrow. Their usual time has been 8 a.m. It's expected that, this is just Onitsha North 1 and, of course, Anambra South. We expected that INEC should be there by 7:30, fixing things together. And by 8 o'clock, start officially and zoom down there. Of course, that's number one, punctuality. Number two, I want to see this election to be a mock election for the November 8th election, whereby the systems, the beavers, and of course the IRF, everything is intact, working, and you have the right technical staff to man all these positions and make sure that things are working very well. That is the kind of INEC I want to see tomorrow. I want to see INEC that is responsive. When you have technical errors, or challenges, you see them responding to it and making sure that the queues are not just, people who are on the queue are not just so much to the extent that they become so annoyed, to leave the place because of inefficiency and all that. So we're expecting a lot from INEC, and if they cannot deliver tomorrow, I'm afraid November 8th will just be a write-off.
So when you don't see all of those things, it puts a question mark on their professed readiness. There was something you pointed out, the places where the by-elections will be conducted, Onitsha North 1 constituency and Anambra South. So I imagine with just these two areas, should we take it for granted that everything will fall in line? Punctuality, the operation of the machines, the responsiveness of INEC officials. Should we take it for granted, or we should still be holding our breath as to the possibilities that can happen based on our electoral system?
No, we shouldn't take it for granted. INEC should be very serious about it because the international community judge any country by the microcosm of what happens compared to the macrocosm. If you look at what is happening, and for you to give judgment, you need just few data, to be able to give a general result about how a place is, the demography. Yeah. So I think if they are aware of this, they should be able to understand the fact that Onitsha North should be taken seriously. And we are talking about Onitsha here. When I mean Onitsha,
right?
Onitsha is huge.
Okay.
We'll now zoom down to Onitsha North 1. It's huge. It's a commercial place. It's a very serious-minded place. And we expect that the markets in that area will observe that particular day to let us know that we are actually doing elections and all that. The security operatives show some level of commitment to the process, because I know people will be passing through, and things should work out well. So we expect a lot from INEC. I don't want to hear issues of delays, traffic here and there.
No fuel.
Stuff like that. So the sensitization as far as this election is concerned, I must say political parties have done well.
Okay.
The sensitizations were on point. We know the candidates.
Okay.
Even when I try to ignore who are the candidates, I just see them on my face. Like I see.
So you trust the turnout to be impressive?
Yes, of course. Onitsha North is a very serious-minded place as far as politics is concerned. Okay. They are very much aware, going by the fact, of course, what happened, the death of Maduka.
Right.
So a lot of persons will be very, very interested in that particular election.
Well, should we look at, the way INEC will perform tomorrow for the by-election? Is it enough for us to, to say they are actually ready for November election? If peradventure they perform well and their professionalism is felt, given that it's just in two places, is it enough for us to say that they are ready for November election if everything goes well?
Yeah, it's a sign. It's a sign to actually say yes, they are ready. Equipment-wise, device-wise, and staff-base-wise. Let's start with equipment. And if the equipment can be able to work, the devices, beavers and the rest of them, if they're able to work, and we see the process of transmission to the beavers and, to the IRF, and we look at that process, and if it is acclaimed seamless, is a good sign that, so something like this can be done. and replicated. I know the problem with institutions in this country is that you get things right in one particular place and you're expected to do plug and play, that is copy and paste in other places, and all of a sudden you go to another area, you behave the other way. You understand? Probably because there is an influence somewhere, an interest somewhere. So, I mean, if you can carry out this election successfully in this particular location, what stops you from doing it like this, plug and play in a different location? It's because of interest. And before you know it, some persons are compromised and the whole process is bamboozled. So I think in this particular election, we're expecting that INEC should use this as a litmus test. I mean, Onitsha North one have the crowd, they have the population to actually be used as a testing ground, for an election. Supposing this election is being held somewhere in either one village in Anambra State, I would just say, okay, fine, just a village. Okay, they may not have that crowd or whatever. Onitsha North is quite prominent and visible enough to give us a sample of what we should expect.
Well, one of the things that have cropped up as far as this election is concerned is INEC's decision to exclude Labour Party from the contest. The other time we saw the factional chairman of Labour Party, Abure, saying, well, INEC, you stand a chance of being taken to court if you exclude a candidate. I want you to look at the possibility of that happening based on the exclusion, that is, Labour Party taking INEC to court, and what that possibly means for the election as a whole. And let's start with that before we move on to what OP also did.
I would like Labour Party to take INEC to court.
Okay.
Because I'm very much interested. Why? Because I want to see how the courts will respond to such a situation. Because according to the courts, Abure, Labour Party chairman, if you go to their website, it was written clearly there, according to court's judgments or whatever the way they put it, but according to the courts. So I want the same Labour Party to take INEC to court so that the Supreme Court can now, interpret the law clearly for us. Because some persons are still saying to you today, how can the Supreme Court give a judgment and the opposite parties are laying claims, of that particular judgment favoring them? So automatically there was no judgment. You get it? So I would like INEC to go to court so that Supreme Court
Labour Party.
Beg your pardon. Labour Party go to court so that Supreme Court can just nail this thing once and for all.
Well, do you see it affecting this election? Do you see this court case eventually they take INEC to court? Do you eventually see it affecting this by-election? Is there any possibility of nullification in the future?
Well, it's already there. It's already there. Anybody who is in Labour Party now, INEC has stated the obvious, that Labour Party is not part of the match, if I want to use it like that. And anybody who is contesting, is null and void, because
it's not about what INEC says, it's about what the court does with it. What if the court,
the outcome of that particular case, if Labour Party eventually takes INEC to court, the outcome of that particular case, do you see it affecting this by-election in the aspect of nullifying this election?
Of course, it will, because unless the court wants to go back to their vomits, if I want to use that word, it will definitely affect, because we are talking about the law here. If INEC has come out to say this is the way to go, and they say, okay, fine, we want to go to court, they go to court and the court gives another judgment, it will definitely affect. And anybody that is coming on board I'm sure, is going to be invalid, on that part.
I'm just wondering, because when you talk about Abure's name in the list, as it were, on the site of INEC. But I think the major argument is how the party was not able to put his house in order by taking a firm decision, because presumably the court said fix your home. The decision the decision basically is upon parties to decide what and what. You look at PDP, they handle their own. Labour Party cannot handle their own. So I'm just wondering, can we blame INEC in this instance, or because it seemed they too were confused by the judgment? Because the INEC I know would always quote court order, right? They say based on court order, that's why we are doing this. But this time, INEC is not really making pronouncement as to why it is taking this decision, except maybe the party was not able to give it the name of the people who are supposed to, in a substantial level, be the leadership of the party. So let's look at it from that angle. INEC not coming on his own to make pronouncement, and whether that is based on the fact that there was no court order served on them, or that they took the decision on their own based on the fact that the judgment was not clear.
For some of us, we are saying that the judgment was not clear, but I'm sure that INEC knows where that judgment was leading to, and for them to have taken a stand, you can't be neutral. INEC cannot be neutral on issues like this. They've taken a stand, and the stand here is very clear.
What is the stand?
The stand here is that Labour Party is factionalized. It's
different from an INEC that would have said, we recognize Abure, we recognize Bernard Usman. Let's forget about the name of Abure being on their side.
Yes, those days we have a Festus Okoye, the spokesperson of INEC, who will always drop some of these points you've just made.
Right.
But Festus is not in the picture now, so I don't know if that would have been Festus' influence in that organization. Some people can be very influential. So at this point in time, there was nothing of that nature. INEC is more explicit with as far as this issue is concerned. I mean, we need to even give them kudos for saying, as far as this election is concerned, we don't have candidates for Labour Party. It's very clear. And you can only relate that to the judgment of the courts. Because on what ground would INEC be saying there's no candidate for Labour Party? It's basically the judgment. So
at the end of the day, I think we have to go back to whether the Supreme Court confused everybody at the end of the day.
They played the smart one, but some persons are not confused. Some persons are still because where they were very smart was on the point where they said, okay, you people should go and settle yourself,
right?
Let there be peace, and the rest of them. Is that enough to do judgment? Let there be peace. Okay, till today there's no peace.
Right.
So INEC don't want to find themselves within that space of confusion. So it's just better stay. So
the ball was in the court of labor.
Yes, the judgment said go and make peace. As it stands today, there's no peace. INEC does not want to involve themselves in that trouble. They say, I beg, you guys have not made peace, so no candidate for you. Simple.
We'll see what the court will say concerning that, based on Abure's threat that they will have to go to court. But isn't it disappointing? Because at a point in time, the leadership that is the Nadi side went to INEC, right? Their headquarters to present their case. That was when INEC also spoke like tongue in cheek and all of those things. So we would think that there would be a definite pronouncement based on the fact that a faction came to meet them, but everything was still unclear. But you look at PDP. They were able to do all of those things.
That's maturity. See, whenever I tell you about PDP,
right,
it's not like I so much love the party or what. See, this is a very strong party. They understand the game. They know there are a lot of matured people there, former governors, former senators, and all that. So they understand the game. They went to INEC to say, please give us clarification. What should we do on the case of Anyanwu? And it was clear. So, okay, fine. If that will bring peace, Anyanwu will come back to the seat. So INEC has
and they are in the ballot now.
They're in the ballot. So,
unlike before, people were speculating that PDP does not stand a chance, especially in November 8th election.
Whoever that is putting fire in PDP, his own intention is to make sure that they are not a platform viable for election.
Right.
What Labour Party is facing now. But PDP is quite smarter than that. And they went to meet INEC to get clarification. And today they're on the ballot.
Okay.
That's maturity.
I guess, is that a thumbs up to Umar Damangu, even though at a point in time people were really trying to mix him up with Weekend, saying that he's conniving to work with the All Progressives Congress. But another legal dispute has to come from the SDP. They were not supposed to be in the ballot, but yesterday we had a court ruling saying that they should be put in the ballot. I don't know how INEC is going to do it. Already the party is saying that they had been campaigning, regardless of the legal tussle. But what do you make of this last minute ruling by the court that a party should be included in the ballot?
INEC should have the paraphernalia of devices to be able to correct such. I mean, it should be made very clear. A good thing is not that general election that cumbersome. And as it stands right now, nothing ambiguous. SDP can still be brought upon. It's just on the device.
The ballot that was printed,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the technical strength of INEC in order to effect these necessary changes. So unless we are actually
they printed double,
exactly. Of course, they must have been foreseen one or two things. Probably they must have even printed double. If there is, we go for this. If there isn't, we go for this. Because INEC, before they do anything, I'm very much aware, they always want to be on the part of the law in terms of what the court says.
Right.
So I know they must. It could be financially challenging, to print such, but that should just be the best way to go, unless they have it on the digital platform.
Well, all of these are just mere speculation of what
until tomorrow.
Yes, until tomorrow. But let's take a look at the statements made by Obi. The fact that he encouraging his supporters not to root for Labour Party because of the factional issues, according to the declaration from INEC. And we saw him campaigning for the ADC candidate and putting on ADC at the cap and all that. So what is that supposed to,
Let's rule out the numbers before we proceed, lest we forget ourselves. 0806 878 2781 and 08135537 Those are the numbers to reach us. So
yes, although we are not talking about Obi now, but that single act can, alter one or two, or even, modify one or two for him. So with the fact that he was seen campaigning for an ADC candidate, and according to him, he is still in the Labour Party. What does that what does that stand for him?
He is a member of the Labour Party, and he's also a member of the coalition. You understand? A coalition that is actually being led by ADC.
All right, sorry. Let's hear from you quickly. Good morning.
Yeah, Honorable Austin, I call back.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, please, I want you to, and you, Nelson, to help me on this. What connotes a terrorist act? Yeah, for instance, the person who gave an order, who gave an instruction that if any international community should come into the country and mess into our political affairs, they will go with body back. What does that connote? Secondly, what does that connote? The person who cut up the road that leads to a particular area in Kogi State during the time of election. What does that connote? You don't have I haven't said that. That's what the discussion of the day. Now, issue of by-election that will be coming to Anambra tomorrow. You know that in as much as I do, that Joe Sabure allowing himself to be used by opposition. Why did I say so? If he hasn't allowed himself to be used, he has an ample time before now to resolve the issue with Menaki Usman, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he resolve this issue and make sure that he doesn't hold the party on Chester? Now, there are people who are trying to contest this election under this policy. Now, you are trying to disenfranchise them just because of your selfish aims. I wonder why, you know that you have a particular issue that you want to address with another opposition in your party. Why don't you resolve it? instead of here there, we should step down for peace to reign. Perhaps you have been there and you are standing at the lap. Why don't you step down and allow the other to carry on? Do you know that it is exactly what people were calling that is going to affect it to be if he defends all his stuff on level party? Yes. You know, now people are not beginning to see that the hand of Esau is body written in blood. That's a simple truth. And it's different. So what are we saying in the case is that Abure allows himself to be used. That is why this thing is playing. And the people who have gotten their votes, the people who have exhausted their hearts to vote for, now they're being sidelined just because of one man. Now, I just believe that this will not discuss in the Anambra coming 2026 election. Because if this similar thing happen, the candidates will not take it funny to make like the leader in that party. Let me just stop and so others can comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. His first comment, I guess, is a rhetorical question. What constitutes terrorism, given the examples he was given? Yeah?
I think what the examples he gave, were electoral violence.
He's on the explanation. I think the way he was interpreting it, like, is equal to terrorism, or you're saying just violence,
electoral violence,
maybe intimidation, and all of that. Okay, let's hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm calling from Oscar.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. If I will love that we have
can you speak up a bit?
Yes. Okay. I'm saying
if
I will be allowed to advise, I would have want a situation whereby if the person maybe that has been elected resigned or maybe died in office, I would have loved it that it should be included in our constitution that the runner-up will take up that position.
Okay.
So that we will not be wasting our time and the money of the country in conducting the election.
Okay.
What we are having as far as Senate mind is concerned is selection. No ruling party in the state will want you to elect another party man to come and be disturbing the governor in terms of state affairs or in terms of federal election. So instead of wasting our time, because if you are talking about the one that happened in Onitsha, the election there, Soludo will not want an opposition in that house. And it's almost impossible that you will bring another person from another party to come and win him here. So instead of wasting our time and instead of wasting maybe in the process, people will die like the Canadian court have declared that politicians are terrorists. We should maybe save our time by calling up the runner-up to be sworn in immediately. Then you can see the confusion from the Labour Party, the arrowhead in Labour Party, telling you to support ADC. And that is what we have been saying. How can a confused individual rule a nation? It's going to throw the nation into confusion. So, but if we say it, some headless mob in the mood of saying that they are obedient, they will attack you. And you ask yourself, where is that obedience? About yesterday, I kind of analyzing within myself, trying to call myself meeting to look into the activities of this labor obedience movement people. And my conclusion was that these people are not, they are not far from unknown men. My reason is I have a lot of reasons, and immediately after that my reasoning, that court declaration came out, and I'm concluding that whatever they said is what is happening. But what they refuse to add is the other party. Almost all the parties in Nigeria, all of them are terrorist organizations, as far as I'm concerned.
Allegedly.
Because,
Allegedly.
Yes. Because their conduct has shown that. Ojus Okalo, when he was he entered the APC, he told us that they used to kill in PDP. Let the former Deputy Senate President also said that they used to rig. Understand? So, other parties, including Labour Party, they are also should be included. If you check the election, they will use their logo, three people in their logo. They will call one Jesus, they will call one Joseph, they will call one Mary. Bringing the denominational problem into what we are having. So, whether you believe it or not, because I don't expect a moderator or maybe an analyst from the radio station, people are expecting him to tell you that these people are terrorists. He should not toe that line because if he says that, we will be biased. So the issue is that as far as I'm concerned, our conduct have shown under Buhari, I keep saying this, the insecurity that we are having in Southeast today is born out from what opposition has been saying. Allow them, they have their right to agitate. They should agitate for anything, leave them. People will call and tell you, and it's coming from opposition. They call you, allow them to kill police, they should kill army, they have been killing people. And you don't know that all these things are terrorism related issue. Today, nobody is safe anywhere in Nigeria. And it's, all these things were caused by opposition.
When you include the obedient movement, some people want to ask, is it not overreaching? Given how the Canadian court put it, the killings that had come with past elections, and you look at this movement came up just before 2023 election, and you want to ask, what kind of violence have they created? After all, this was a group that when their principal lost the election, they didn't trip out to create chaos. You have to be mindful of that. And regarding Obi, that you turned as confused, don't you think that maybe he's just going with the tide, given that he has no choice now?
That's why I tell you, the activities of positions of Nigeria is different from what we have elsewhere. I've told you that these people deliberately created this problem in their party, PDP and Labour Party. Right. They are working for this government, and people don't want to understand and they accept that. There is no problem within that party. They created it. They are talking about terrorism. Right. I'm around that election time, 2023. You can hear them the way they will attack and insult people that are just acting. Can we win this election? You are just acting with what you are seeing as an analyst. Can this man win this election? You will see these people, they will attack you. And we have been seeing kidnapping, naming, and you are not asking yourself, you are not investigating to know where it's coming from. Understand? So, as far as Senna mine is concerned, because what we have almost a kind of accumulated and imbibed all these type of things. Before now in our election, we know that any politician can say anything and go. Maybe it is we see it as a campaign is politicking. But now you cannot just say it against their party, their support, their man. They will see you as being Fulani man. They will see you as a big conniving with the looters. But so it is coming from them. The same opposition that's supposed to be maybe democratic, people that are supposed to be civil. So you can imagine if you give them, hand over this land to them with their type of activities, they will not want an alternative voice. They will attack you because you want to bring our government down. So thank God that the Canadian court has said this. Immediately I was thinking on how, because all these contributions is something that somebody needs to maybe prepare. So the issue is that what is going in Nigeria, That's why everywhere, terrorism, opposition will not come out and say what is tangible. They will always want to come from political lines to continue to deceive the people. So, whether people believe it or not, this is my submission.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Within your right, but of course, we're able to draw the line. Nasa, I think you were trying to answer the question posed by Favor on Obi.
Yeah, Obi has said it several times that he still remains the member of Labour Party, but coalition is also something that is tenable within the political space. Coalition is when individuals or different political parties come together to say, we want to unseat this particular administration. It's allowed, coalition, alliance, or whatever name you call it. But in this case, whatever your coalition is, you must do it on a platform. And that platform, the one they were trying to register, ADA, was not ready. So they decided to say, okay, let's even place this one on ADC. And so he is a member of Labour Party and now supporting also a party that is also part of the coalition, because right now he has no candidates for this by-election. I think it favors him to say, well, let's go for ADC.
You know, I'm just wondering, before 2020 some election, because there had been that impression that he was neither here nor there, even though he claimed that he's of the Labour Party. And so he has shown support for the ADC candidate. Based on what is going on in the coalition, is there a possibility we'll still use that platform for 2027 himself?
You mean the ADC?
Yes, P2B for himself. Where do you see him?
Okay, you know, with what we are seeing on the Labour Party, with the Nenadi Usman faction, they are trying to clear some legality to make them to be seen as the legal recognized executive for the party. That's why P2B is still there. Okay. So if it works, fine for them. If it doesn't work, the coalition is there, and if coalition does not give him ticket, he will be partyless.
All right,
and there was no election for him.
Well, the game is getting more interesting. Good morning.
That's very good. Democracy is very attractive. It is practiced in a normal way.
Indeed.
Where everybody will claim that he is the genuine. He is the best person. He knew everything than any other person. So there's no problem. But I want to remind us, in the election of 2023, in Enugu, Obi did not support Labour Party, although he's the leader. So he's supposed to be the leader because he's the presidential candidate. But he supports the present governor. I could remember that PDP governor now here. He supported Mba. I heard it clearly and I read it. That Obi choose Mba against any other person, even Labour Party. That is to say, he's looking for the best. You see, that you hate somebody cannot stop the person. You are against flood, will not stop you from carrying your house. He must bring down your house if your house is on the way of any erosion. He will bring it down. So, hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Obi supported this particular Mba because he knew him. He saw the masterpiece. He knew that he will do well. So supporting the ADC parent now is not from what has happened in 2023. Not apart. Obi then did not matter anybody. And I knew all the statements they had. I am not a politician, position, but I am obedient in nature because I know it will. I don't do something because people like me, my very self. I do what I know that will yield something. Though I may not be perfect, but I don't support anything. You see, there's something I said about Njideka the other day. Yeah, because of the way he behaves this period, even after being the Labour minister, he did not continue to do anyhow like other Southeastern politicians going against everybody, speaking against everybody. This man did not do that. Even in the previous election, he did not do much. That is, I begin to love this man. I begin to see something positive in him. Yes, I am now comparing him only to this and no other person. There are things that make somebody in a particular organization. Why do we have managers in the bank? Why do we have managers in the bank? Otherwise, bank is bank, you will come and put your money and go. But somebody that has the knowing all or knowing well to keep people's money without stories. That will manage everything. Is it security? Is it how to talk to people? That is why they have a certain people that bring their customers to the bank. And a lot of things. That is management. Anybody that can manage everything with prudence is better than that person that can tell you that buy 20 planes in a day. That alone is a great virtue. Now to take any other country to the high. Those little money, those money you are seeing that we are working is enough to touch the needs of people. Like what he said the other day, is it? Yes, I know the our economy is growing. People are putting on the economy. It is now unstable. I wonder where the stability. Inflation is above 30%. It's about 38. And you are saying that being you. You say, I don't look at persons. I look at what is prevalent, what is now at the moment, what is in vogue at the moment. You don't say such things because you are destroying your name. Because even if we are not economists, and there is something we do because of the climb or the career somebody underwent in the university.
All right.
Who attribute wisdom and everything, even God, our goodness to the person. Even when the person is saying there is lying. No.
Right.
We are seeing it in Nigeria. You see, the political parties now, like what my brother from Oscar says, the problem we're having now is the same political party against other political parties. They don't want another person to worry them. But you see,
all right, so Dodgy, we may have to.
I want to conclude.
Right.
You see, having another people in the polity that is not in your party checkmate your expertise. And that is what you are running from. If you have a clean hand as you come to equity, you won't fear anybody. You will do free election. That's why we don't want it. So that nobody will stop you from being able, eating the money.
All right.
Otherwise, there's no need for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for venting.
Sometimes I wonder whether how much trust should we give to these politicians?
Right.
Are they really different? Are we expecting something different from the next person? So sometimes I wonder.
Is it based on what to be doing?
Yeah, no based on.
Okay, we have to look here. Yeah. But Nelson, quickly, your parting short, and of course the fact that even Labour Party in Anambra State is a bit divided because there is another faction saying that, well, ADC, we're not voting for ADC, something like that. This is not campaign anyway. We're just trying to analyze what is going on. Peter Okoye faction say, Obi said, well, vote, show support here, but they're saying no, don't.
Well, it's a matter of choice, it may not sound well that a member of the Labour Party is asking everyone to vote an ADC candidate. So it doesn't sound straight in the ears of some persons. So you expect some retaliation. But join us tomorrow for more details.
Right.
9 a.m. straight talk. It's going to be fire for fire.
Right. Be covering. We'll be listening, monitoring things as well. Thank you everyone for joining the conversation today. And of course, this week, the conversation continues tomorrow. Till then, that's on Straight Talk. Then on Monday as well, we'll be here. My name is Njideka. See you again.
And I am Favor Gilbert. Thank you for listening.
Hey.
I ran across the safety and they said you like to mess around. That's when I knew that you were sneaking out all over town.